All right, welcome back. We're still on the matter. Austin was about to finish up with his train of thoughts on grassroots sports development. In this case, we were talking about tennis.
And I love it so much. And I was saying it gives us a real opportunity to empower young kids, gives us, a real opportunity of having a peep into the future of the sport. I said I liked it for two ways. One, it is for young persons. Two, it is tennis. So shout out to AIDA Foundation once again. I just hope that the core objectives, will be achieved and they will keep it going, because I love the enthusiasm from the kids. I love the fact that we're actually seeing good swings, They're playing lovely tennis. If you don't put this together, if AIDA Foundation didn't put this together, Kende Idris won't be talking about this, and that's why I'm saying that, look, enough of this football talk. Yes, we get money from football, but it is not letting us build. Let's concentrate on those sports that we know we can actually build, particularly from the schools, from the grassroots, and then chase those long-term goals, Kende.
It's as simple. Enough of the old football talk. Sometimes it even beats you to look at the kind of things we invest in football and the kind of achievements it gives us. Some sports do not get as much, attention, and they give us a whole lot. While we're back as young boys and girls, you'll find it will amaze you that there is a proper sportsman or woman or girl or boy in your same school and doesn't want to play football. All he wants to do, or all she wants to do, is to hit the tracks or be jumping, high jump, or wants to do long jump or short put or hammer. That is diversity in talent. No, everybody will not do the same. And see, you said something very marky. You said, we're not talking of who is winning, who is not winning. We're talking of what this can do for the young mind. Sports will give you discipline. Sports will make you monitor yourself, monitor your body, and the way you grow. And it helps you, to understand what perseverance means. You continue to whip it until it gets to fall through. Maybe programs like this, maybe people like this, maybe we talking about it will help us get to the point where we'll be more flamboyant, express more on every other sport other than just football every day.
Yeah, I agree. And so that takes us to the next point of discourse, and it is what you have right beside me on the screen. Mixed feelings. I don't know. I'm just struggling for the words, but the results. First leg, second preliminary round. This is the round that takes you into the money spinning group stage of the CAF Champions League, and we're just praying and hoping the Nigerian way that the Nigerian team will get into that money spinning so that we can know if it is truly money spinning. But it doesn't look like they want to. Remo Stars lost scandalously at home to Mamelodi Sundowns. A lot of people say it wasn't a surprise that they lost, but 5-1 it's I don't know. The Black Bulls, Maputo, Rivers United went away. Some will say by far Rivers United has been the most consistent Nigerian club side in the last 5 years. Yeah, you can't argue against that. But they lost. The question now is, in the second leg, which of these results is redeemable? So I'll go to the analyst in the house, Kende Idris. Which of these results is redeemable? And I've heard some people say Yiba has come back from a 5-1 loss.
Okay.
I start to be corrected. I don't think the loss was at home.
And it wasn't Mamelodi
Sundowns. But your thoughts?
Firstly, there is never one way to win in a football game. You see teams playing a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, a Arsenal. They know they are the smaller team. They know they don't have the materials to go head on, going all the way.
Can go toe to toe.
Soak up the pressure. Low block, pack the bus and all of that. Get your needed results and move on to the next phase. Pretty football, ugly football, moving on to the next phase is the most important. And that is what Remo Stars did not understand. They went head on with Mamelodi. So Mamelodi Sundowns have got players who is earning about $1 million in that team. And probably the highest paid in Remo Stars might be 500, 600, 700,000. There is a golfing class. You don't want to compete head on.
They had the name of the currency.
Exactly.
You didn't have the name of the currency.
The currency, 500 or 700,000 naira as it stands. So we saw that even at a point, Mamelodi Sundowns was giving respect to Remo Stars. Slow it down. You have already scored 5. Why score more? Give them respect in their house. If Mamelodi needed 10 goals in that game, I can almost bet you if they don't get 10 goals, they will get 8, they will get 9.
It was that bad.
It was that bad. It was, you know, when we say schoolboy error, somebody said, why disrespect schoolboys sometimes? Some of the errors were way bad. Like, you cannot say this is your league champion as much as there is golf in class.
Played football at all.
At all. No, it's pathetic. For Rivers United, I think they can overturn it.
It's redeemable.
You went away, you got a 1-goal loss. I think that's redeemable. But I'm sure when Austin gets the baton, he would mention this. One of the most fundamental problems we're having is all of these teams, and the two that had gone out, Kwara United and also Abia Warriors, none of them played in their home. This is the highest level when it comes to club football in Africa. You cannot throw away any advantage that you can use. Your own playing is one big advantage. Your players' motivation, welfareism is another advantage. Yeah. Welfareism, I can't say much, but this is clear. Remo Stars will play at the MK Abiola, Sports Arena. They cannot play in Ikene because CAF did not approve. For Rivers United, they are playing in Uyo. They cannot play at their home. These are it's just like you're playing on a neutral ground, even as much as you're at home.
Let's go to Austin to see if he has different opinion. But Austin, just for laughs, I mean, our colleague Dumnodi Okonta, we're having this conversation, and he told me, and he said, these guys on this team, many of them played against your Super Eagles, professionals, top class, and they handled them easily. Yeah. Some of them hand in dollars, some of them, and the golf in class was so evident that we should not be angry with Remo Stars. We should be thanking Sundowns for not making it 10 because they could have. Do you agree with that?
100%. You know, it was Bafana. About 9 of those players are top starters for Bafana. You see, they always say, fix your league. You know, invest in your league. Make it the system. Let it have a structure. The people who think they are in charge believe that it is just about playing competition. Kende has made a valid point, you know, and it is what it is. I can beat my chest, put my small money in the bank that Mamelodi Sundowns will not beat Remo at Ikene Remo 5-1. Nah, it's not going to happen. If they want to win, it will end 3-1. It will end maybe 4-2. It will end 2-0. It will never be 5-1 at Ikene Remo. Very, very important lesson we need to learn. And look at the sort of goals. You could tell that these guys just came to train, you know, because mentally, Remo, they weren't there. Besides this goal that I saw to be, you know, a stunner, the third goal. You know, but aside that, they were in control 100% with the way they, you know, they controlled the game, you know, with the way they showed maturity. You know, it's just like what Arsenal seem to be doing to Atletico Madrid now. That's football for you. But a lot of things went right for Mamelodi Sundowns. The way they came in gave us that, you know, professionalism that we're always yearning for. Even when they were going, did you see them behave like they are one African club side? They were giving gifts to the fans. Look at the kind of buzz they came with. Look at their whole set team. This is business. It's Patrice Motsepe's, you know, baby in action. Yeah. We don't play with these things. We think it's a joke. You know, I'm saying Black Bulls did not beat Rivers United so much. That game is a neutral game. And football is mental. It's all Black Bulls need to know that it is not their home ground. It's just something about the home ground. You see AC Milan, they are coming out at the San Siro. You know, I was about to say Manchester United are no transfer, but something is happening.
But Austin, let me butt in quickly. I don't want us to lick our wounds too much. Which of these results is redeemable?
Of course, it's Black Bulls and Rivers United easily. But we see Rivers United, they're such a slippery team, you know, and there's just something about each time they go play at the Gospel Akpabio Stadium. Maybe they don't have the sort of support that they need to have, or they just, that concentration, that's little. I think it was 2-3 seasons ago that I expected them to win one match and they needed to avoid a draw and it ended 2-2. And I was like, no, this cannot be happening. So yeah, you want to say that's the scoreline that they can change. And I'm saying this now because I have friends at Rivers United. I'm close to Finidi George so that they will know now that I'm challenging them on TV that this is a game that they can go and win. Just do it for yourself. Get into that money spinning group stage. Make some money for yourself. Put yourself into proper view. The players, the coaches, the club. We've said this over and over again. Rivers State as a government, Rivers State as a state is good enough to have a standard football pitch that CAF should come and say, done, 100%. Somebody's just taking their eyes off the ball. So, yes, Rivers United can redeem that result, but we've seen times when we want them to do something and they don't do it. And in my eyes, I'm looking at that game as a neutral game for Black Bulls, and that's the sort of mentality they can use and, get something out of it.
All right, let's take some reactions, possibly take the Nigerian angle, and of course from Mamelodi Sundowns. Let's quickly do that, and of course we'll come back to talk about what happened on the domestic league.
Well, the point is, in terms of strategy for this game, first half and second half, we cannot say the players didn't do what is supposed to do. No, we cannot say. The players follow what was the plan. But we know on this kind of games, small mistakes is dangerous. You cannot do mistakes, individual mistakes, because there's a collective actions which they follow, they try to do, but the individual mistakes cannot happen. The plan was to press them high on the first phase of the construction. Okay, don't leave them to decide to connect the game. And if we not win the ball on the first phase of the construction of the opponent on the offensive half, now we come back and give them to bridge up a bit to get space behind them. Was the plan. And if you see, all the opportunities we got was when they was a little bit bridge up and we got space behind them, or on the first phase of the construction where we block and we won the ball in the middle, and now we can go to the space. But of course, when we get one or two opportunities and we didn't score and we didn't get the post of the opponent, now it's difficult, because the opponent, as in football, is always like that. If you press high, you give space back. If you didn't give space behind you, if you want to protect the space behind you and you want to press high, now there's a gap in the middle. So you cannot be everywhere, because the field has 68 meters by 105. So if you want to press high, okay, you're going to press high. If you not win the ball, now they have space behind you. But if you want to protect a bit of your space behind you, you leave space in the middle. But everything you do is the plan, and you want to control. Okay, if I press there, I give you space here, but I know how to control it. Okay, if I give you space behind me, I know how to control it. And every time we win the ball, the plan was there, and every opportunities we got was planned to got them this way. But we didn't score, unfortunately. It's football. In South Africa, we are going to understand what was the mistakes on this game collectively and individual, correct them, and draw a plan for the game. Of course, has a difference of 4 goals, because the score was 5-1, so the difference of 4 goals is difficult.
Look, when I entered the club, there were several values that were taught to me, that are the values that sustain the identity of the club. In our shirt, in mine, no, but in yours, it's written Ubuntu Boto. Those are the values that should regulate Mamelodi Sundowns fans all the moment. And that has to do with commitment, that has to do with respect, that has to do with support, that has to do with family, that has to do with responsibility, of course, and that's what we try. We are not perfect. We are also victims of aggressions. We are also victims of moments. What we always do is try to show character in the most difficult moments, and that's exactly what we're going to continue to do: is try to show character in every moment, in the difficult ones and in the good ones. And that's what people should expect, and Mama Sandwana family should expect from the coach and from the players, is a big respect for the club history, tradition, and level, so that we can lift it and keep it high as positives for sure. That's what Macedonia family should expect from us. Look, obviously it's important that when you are under pressure or high pressure, mostly in a man-to-man marking, that you can use the spaces in the back of that pressure. So we needed players, runners on the front to make diverse movements in order to try to release someone of the marking, but then we need someone to put the ball there. We know we have a goalkeeper that is basically the first one to deliver service on those spaces, on those players. We had to attract pressure so that then we could find them. And
all right, it's almost painful to watch and listen, but it is what it is. So we move on. You listen to, of course, Thiago Conde, coach of Remo Stars, and of course Miguel Cardozo, the manager of Mamelodi Sundowns. We could go on and on and on and on, but we have to move on. What is done is done. Let's talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. That's our next port of call. Let's run through that quickly, and Austin will be on standby to give us the results from the UEFA Champions League. He's on his tab, and I can confirm to you that he's furiously refreshing those tabs to tell us what's going on. But here we are with the matchday 9 results. Barao FC defeated Kano Pillars 2-1. Bayelsa United lost at home to Kun Khalifa. El Kanabi Warriors defeated Wiki Tourist 2-1. The Abaile fans, I don't know what's happening, slipped to a 2-1 loss at home and lost to Warri Wolves. Kwara United defeated Katsina United by a lone goal. Niger Tornadoes hammered Plateau United 4 goals. Shooting Stars back on the bounce. Of course, defeated Abia Warriors 2-0. Of course, Ikorodu City defeated Nasarawa United 2-0. So those are the results. Kayode Idris, just maybe a minute from you. Let me just quickly take a look at the top 4 and bottom 4 before we go on. That's why United sitting pretty on top with 19 points after 9 matches, followed by Shooting Stars, Abia Warriors, and Niger Tornadoes. That makes up the top 4. Let's flip and look at the bottom. In the bottom, you have teams that you expect to get out at some point. Because I don't pray some of these teams get relegated, because it's going to take away the glamour from the league. Plateau United, Barra FC, Bellel Insurance, Kano Pillars. Trust me, you don't want any of these teams. But it's early days here, just after 9 matches, and some of them have not even played all the 9 matches. So, but this is what it looks like. Kayode Idris, in a minute, sum up your thoughts for us. Shooting Ikorodu, getting wins, and Warri Wolves going all the way to beat Eimba.
I'll start with the newly promoted teams: Kun Khalifa, Barao FC, Warri Wolves. I think these 3 majorly. I don't mind where Barao, you can find Barao, right there, around 18. But the kind of football they play, very patient. They play like they've been here, for a while. For Warri Wolves, I think they top the pack, and it's fantastic where they find themselves. Sometimes you accrue the points early. When push comes to shove, the points you've accrued earlier will save you. Now, let me go to the top 2. Nasarawa United, on their day, can hold it against any team in the NPFL. They are as good as that. In fact, they are one of those teams that has been super consistent. Yes, there are times you see them very low and all of that. But talking about consistent, good football, I think Nasarawa is there. Now, Shooting Stars started this season pretty bad. Was like, after all your chop and change, adjustment, what's going to happen? They got all of Ibadan rallying behind them when they did that, road show just to get the support of the fans. And now the results have started coming. Probably the story of Shooting Stars is continue to do the right thing. It will come off at some point, and it's coming off already. I don't know where this will take them, but as of match day 9, Shooting Stars look like one of those teams that has gotten into our proper conversation, and it might just stay that way. So the NPFL is given. We always love it, but I still have my worries.
All right. Let me yield to Austin. Probably wants to say something through, but let's see what we can take. Austin, your thoughts, if you can sum it up in a minute. Some of the results that got your attention.
Yeah, definitely. The away wins, Kun Khalifat, beginning to get their rhythm now. This is a team that needed to sustain the momentum after beating Eimba, was a big statement win. And then they followed it up. That's good back-to-back wins. Shooting Stars, with the mental activity they suffered in Kano, with Kano Pillars on match day 7. You know, they needed to show character, and they did that, you know, with that win also. And Bayelsa United, I don't know what's wrong. I know they lost at home to Eibar. They've lost at home to Nasarawa United, and this was another home loss again. So I like that we're seeing, you know, away wins in the league gets to tell you that it's really, really competitive. So shout out to all of those teams that went away and picked wins. So yeah, it's just match day 9, we'll say, but you know, when this sort of results come, it's really something good to talk about. So we're waiting to see how, you know, some teams will turn it around and really get us talking. So basically, shout out to Nasarawa United. Ikorodu City did a quick one on them, won that one 2-0. But the solid miners, they've gathered too much points from match day 1 to 8, and they're still on top of the table with 4 points. You know, so it's a good one. I like it. Let's just wait to see what the league will get us talking right after the first stanza.
All right, let's quickly go to the CAF Champions League. Austin, what do you have for us? What's going on?
Quite a number of things here. I mean, what a story. You already know that result. Barcelona crushed Olympiacos 6-1. Walk with me. Let's come right here in England. We're going to the Emirates Stadium. It finished goalless. It's at halftime. But second half, Arsenal came back and they turned on the 8. 3 goals in 13 minutes, you know. And right now it is Arsenal 4, Atletico Madrid 0. That game I've got monitoring that right here, and I'm monitoring Villarreal and Manchester City on this other side of the screen. 2-0 for the English team. A game that really got me talking. At some point I had to change it because each time I blink here, I see goals. Bayer Leverkusen 2, Paris Saint-Germain 6. So 8 goals already, and that game is just in its 81st minute, so might get to see more goals. Surprise! Borussia Dortmund have turned it around. They now lead 3-1 at FC Copenhagen. PSV 4, Napoli 1. Can you believe it? That's UEFA Champions League for you. Inter Milan are doing a quick roast of Union Gileos right there in Germany. And then I see Villarreal, I mentioned it, Manchester City, good away win. If it ends this way for Pep Guardiola and his team, the sort of momentum that they need in the UEFA Champions League, so much going on. The Gunners still pushing. They want more goals. I love the second goal. It was a lovely pass from Miles Lewis Kelly to Martinelli. I remember the way Henry will bend and then finish it off. That was what Nelly did. It's Arsenal 4, Atletico Madrid 0.
All right, we're pressed for time. We're not going to be able to savor that graphic description from Austin, but here you have on your screen Wednesday's fixtures: Athletic Club up against Karabakh, Galatasaray up against Blodoglynd, Monaco will be up against Tottenham, Atalanta will take on Slavia Prague, Bayern Munich will take on Club Brugge for size. These are some of the fixtures on Wednesday. Some other fixtures: Chelsea will take on Ajax, Frankfurt will take on Liverpool, Real Madrid will take on Juventus. Years gone by, this would have been a classic. Some will say it's still a classic. Then, of course, Sporting will take on Marseille. These are the fixtures for tomorrow. I'm not going to allow Kehinde Idris to talk about the UEFA Champions League because we're going to get thrown out of the studio. But I'm going to allow him to talk about the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. You already know the results, but of course you also know, as you can see on your screen, that Nigeria will be seeking redemption against France.
Yeah.
On the strength of what you saw in the first game, is it possible?
This is scary. These countries have got good, developmental structure, so it gets us worried. In fact, in the last, say, 7-8 years, Nigeria have not really gotten it good at the age grade competitions, both male and female. So worrying, but you need to just, start your competition now. Canada was a learning curve. Now you've seen what you needed to see. Go out and play France. If you can get anything off France, probably a draw, then think of killing off Samoa. Maybe 4 points would be good enough to move on. But these are points where I would say I'll sit on the fence. I'm not saying I do not trust the team, but I'm looking at the team that is in front of them. All
right, Austin, even though we're about to close shop and lock things up, but your thoughts on the Flamingos and, of course, the game tomorrow against France. Any chance of getting something?
There is a chance, definitely. You know, I mean, at this stage, they just need to come prove a point. If we were expecting them to beat Canada and they didn't, then they shouldn't expect to go out there and lose against France. It's raw football at this stage. At least you guys will agree with me if I say under 20s development and people debate it. You shouldn't debate that of under 17. And I saw the way they did their forward play. They were just offensive-minded and were not thinking defensively, you know. So I'm sure those are the things that Coach Oloro Kiribankole, Precious Dede, and the technical crew will say to the girls, you know, do proper match analysis and tell them, believe in yourselves. You can pick your competition back up again if you beat France. And if you beat France, that will send a strong message to the last opponent in the last group game. And if you win that one, you advance at the competition. All the best to the Flamingos. That's the show before I go. Union Saint-Gilloise. That's Belgium, not Germany. Set the record straight. In London, I'm Austin Okona. And in everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.
It's a wrap here in Lagos as well, but I want to thank Kehinde Idris for his time on the show today. Hopefully, we'll do this some other time.
Yeah, hopefully. Ademola will do too. Slavia Prague. What you did to Leverkusen is good to be here.
All right, we'll continue with the conversation when we get out of the studio. That's the show today. We hope you enjoyed everything. You see us again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.